Alright. What's good, Bully World? This is Zeb, your host, Bully Talk with Zeb Pits. And tonight, got my man Kev from the lounge. What's good, big dog?
What's up, man? What's going on? What's going on?
Man, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to take you back in time, pick your brain a little bit. Talk about the early beginnings as far as you can remember with the American Bully.
You want to go back?
Go way back.
Back. Let me see. When I started with the bullies, man, well, my first bully was, I had a dog named Pimp. This was like in the 90s, like probably 93, 94. And I had a dog, as a watchdog bred dog. And he was off a dog called Grand Champion Blue Bully. It was some of that watchdog, you know. And that was my first bully. When I got into the gray line and the razor edge and all that stuff, this was like early 2000. Yeah.
Now, as far as you can remember, the first promotion you really seen with the American Bully came where? For people that might not know.
Promotion?
Yes.
As far as what?
As far as really spreading the word about the American Bully.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you the first, I saw the bullies. We came from game dogs, you know, so we had the match dogs, but, you know, we started trying to get into the bullies, where I did, get away from that match dog stuff, you know, with all the heat with that. So I got into the bullies, and I just looked for the blue dogs, you know. I didn't know what it was. The first stuff I ran into back in the day was some of that Mugglesters. You remember Lobo? Yeah,
big boy dogs.
That big boy, yeah, big old Lobo,
yeah.
And some Mugglester stuff. Chad was back there doing his thing with some of that what was that, Intimidator and all that stuff out there. Yeah. So Rodney, I ran into Rodney Bingley, New Trojan Kennels, and that became my actual mentor. And you know, he with Mario. It's Rodney and Mario, New Trojan. They made the Monster G stuff. They was Great Line boys, you know. And so I ran into him, and it started right there. We got cool. We became like brothers, you know what I'm saying? And boom, it kicked off. Yeah. I taught him a little stuff about the game dogs. He started teaching me about the bullies, you know what I'm saying? And he had Dillinger. It was a dog. It was a Juan Gotti son back then. So he had Dillinger. It was Monster G. You know all this stuff. Yeah.
To your knowledge, how did it feel when they, like with the boy Notorious Juan Gotti, really took off during that time and kind of made his name for itself? Yeah,
you had you know, Rich Barajas was doing his thing, and he had Gotti. He had Monster too, and Monster, that was a crazy boy there. Yeah. But you know, it became like a movement. I came down to Cali when I first met Rod, and I came down like 9 times in one summer, and I just started kicking it with the homie Rich, Rodney, Warren, you know, Larry Duran was in the game back then, Blue Nation, you know, and I hooked up. I got a dog from him named Pink Champel, and it was like a movement, you know. I think I was talking to somebody earlier. Well, we out here in Cali kicking it. And we got some more stuff we gonna announce in a minute, but man, this feels like a pilgrimage, you know, to be coming back here, because that's where I first started. Boom, like I said, 9 times in one summer, and you know, you want to break bread, and you know, just chill with the homies, and then that's when I started making my choices. I didn't just do it over the internet, you know, because I met these brothers over the internet or talking on the phone. I came down so we could rub shoulders, and you know, I want to see this stuff for myself. And once we got cool, I knew I was in there. I was right there where I needed to be to grab the best stuff. And that's how I started our stuff off. But it was like a movement. I was talking to somebody earlier. We kind of compared it to, I came up in the era of the hip hop, you know, and it was the same type of feel. When hip hop came out, you know, Rapper's Delight dropped, you know, These Are the Breaks, you know what I'm saying, all that, Curtis Blow. You know, all that, we was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we came up under that, we grew up under that. It was the same type of feel with that movement for the bully, for the American Bully, which we came up with, you know. And you know, back then it was pit bulls, you know, had a bad stereotype, you know. It was BSL jumping off all across the country, and you know, like I said, I had them game dogs, they was hot on them, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause there was a lot of hot shit going on. But with the bullies, they was labeled pit bull. And you know, the stereotype was this muscular, massive dog that's just tenacious. He will, the lock, you know, you always heard about the lock. Well, he lock on you, ooh, you know. And the news media played it all up, you know. And the bullies fell up under that same, you know, criteria. So you know, we had to carry it on our back, you know, on our shoulders just to make it accepted. You know, when you go into PetSmart and everybody looking at you, you know, the whole mood would change. Nowadays, you know, we've done the work. So nowadays you can go in PetSmart and get all kind of love, and they even know it. It's a household name now. That's a bully. They might say a blue nose or something like that, but they know what it is. You know what I mean? They know it's not a pit bull. You know, so that's the separation we had to make.
How hard is it for you to see a lot of people you might have started with back then, as far as helping building the American Bully breed, to where you see they don't really want to deal with it anymore?
It's hard because you know, it's been a long road, you know, to make this happen, and you gave a lot. You know, you gave a lot out of yourself to make it happen, and it's been a big chunk. It became like a lifestyle. Anybody that mess with these dogs know it's a lifestyle. If you dealing with these dogs, you getting up at 6 in the morning, you're cleaning up poop. All through the day, you're cleaning up poop. You know, they need to go outside. You know what it is. If you're taking care of your dogs correctly, it's a lifestyle. And it becomes the whole family's lifestyle. Whether you got kids, you know, your wife, whatever, it becomes something that everybody has to do. And a lot of brothers gave up a lot, you know, for that. And for it to be, you know, to where it's at now, you know, back then it was dog people, actually dog men, dog women that were really about the dogs. It's turned into something different now. The dogs aren't dogs no more, it's an object. And it's disheartening to see. And a lot of guys, you know, the older guys, they can't even put up with it. They leave. They can't deal with it, yeah.
You ever talk to them about what's going on today, or do they miss it, or? Well,
no, the older guys like Rod and, you know, Rich, I don't talk to Rich that much. I talked to him earlier today. And matter of fact, we'll probably have some stuff going on tomorrow with him. I'm gonna try to bring him back out, and I haven't heard about him, you know, really getting down no more. But he said he got something new to show us. But like Rodney, he had to get out. He saw it coming when all this social media started changing, where, you know, these guys can go on MySpace, Facebook, and all this and become somebody they really ain't. You know, with the dogs, you know, he had to go, and I understood it, you know, and they don't even mess with the dogs like that no more. Yeah.
What keeps you in it?
Bruh, it's just a passion. I try to get out. Trust me. I've tried to get out, slowed up, slowly was getting rid of dogs, you know, and slow breeds down. And every time I'm almost out, I'll say, you know what, I got some stuff to finish, you know. I look at all my work. You look at all your work, like, man, this was 20 years of work. It's hard to walk away from that, especially when you don't feel like you finished what you were working on. You know what I mean? So I deal with it. I deal with all the bullshit, you know, that comes with it. And I try to just keep focused. That's why we the lounge. We straight lounging. You know what I'm saying? We stay drama free. We stay out of all that other bullshit. We about these dogs. We let the dogs talk. We ain't got to beat on our chest and all this hype shit. We don't do all that. You know, we let the dogs do what they gonna do. And that's how it's always been, you know. So the passion for these dogs, you know, to answer the question, that's all I can tell you.
You know, one of the things I wanted to ask you about was why it was important for you to keep it exclusive.
Yeah, I've been talking about that to a few people this weekend. You know, when the stuff started jumping off and it started being in demand, you know, people start calling, they start wanting it. But, you know, when you put all the work that I just described, you know, all the blood, sweat, and tears that you break down doing, you know, making that stuff, and it becomes, you know, your real kids. You know, these are your dogs, the babies, that's all your offspring. That's all your bloodline, and you develop that passion where you just don't want to see it go and be, you know, be played out. You know what I mean? Be commercialized, you know. You can't really, you start just selling it out there like that, it gets around where,
doesn't make it hard when you see that money that's being tossed around out there right now?
Yeah. I get the money, but I get mine slow. I get mine slow in the right way. But you know, they toss that money around, and it's you can let it go, and you'll be rich. But can you look at yourself in the mirror? You know what I'm saying? I can't sell out like that. I never can. That's why I never got that big bag. I just get a little big bag. Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about, man, what's bringing you out to Cali, man.
We gonna talk about all that tomorrow.
Yeah,
we got some stuff. You know, I'm trying to fix some stuff. I'm trying to finish some stuff off. I done made some different relationships. You know, got a little bond developing, and yeah, we get ready to make some dogs. Y'all get ready to see some dogs.
Now let's jump into the Midwest in your area. You know, a lot of different areas. You know, people will say, you know, such and such, Cali got it going on with the dogs. Do you really hear that about the Midwest?
Far as about Cali,
as far as in the dog game period, do you feel that the Midwest get that proper respect as you might see in the Texas or Cali?
Yeah, now you know it was a time when the Midwest started and they was way behind. You know, way behind, and but you know, there's a few guys that stayed with it. You got Jesse from Bumpy Line. You got Outlaw Kennel. You know, Big Manny. You know, Rich. It was some boys back in the day that still stayed. You know, and they did their thing. They kind of carried that cross. You know, to bring it to the Midwest.
Yeah, I was going to ask you who you think was instrumental in really bringing awareness to the Midwest as far as the bully game.
Yeah, you had those out and that's my area. Then you had John Easterly. You know what I'm saying? He was over there in Michigan doing his thing. You know, part of my crew, Master P Kennels. You got Cindy and Paul. You know, they was part of True Tank at first, and then they became Lounge later. But they had a lot of nice dogs, did a lot of nice shit. And matter of fact, Hennessy, a lot of people don't know, but Hennessy off of Cairo and Tika, he actually placed in a ABKC obedience, and he beat some Malinois and some Shepherds and came in first. You know, that was unknown for an American bully / pit bull, whatever you want to call it, and he came in first. And I remember back in the day, they the town they live in is called Crown Point, Indiana. They came up with a BSL ordinance that got passed, and it banned pit bulls, which Hennessy fell up under. You know, they were still up under UKC paperwork. The ABKC wasn't even created yet, right? So it's American Pit Bull Terrier on the UKC paperwork. So Cindy actually had to go fight that. She had to go to the city council meetings, and luckily she was a paralegal. That was her job. They didn't know what they was fucking with, right? So she went and got her little company behind her, and they fought the shit. And she had to go to several council meetings, do all her research. You know, they went through all the process, and she overturned it because they had a zero tolerance. They was gonna ban it. You know, they came up with that, so she had to overturn it, and it's all good. You know what I mean? But that was Hennessy. That was back in the day. So yeah, they did a lot. You know what I mean? But as far as awareness, like I said, John Easterly, you had Hall of Fame. You had you know, Terrell and them.
Terrell Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you had J Mac. J Mac was over there holding down in Ohio. Yeah, it was a few guys back in the day.
Where did the name The Lounge come from, man?
The Lounge. Woo, that's a long story, boy.
All right, we're back with my man Kev from The Lounge. We're going to find out how it all came about.
All right, well, my actual kennel was Midwest Monstas. And I wanted something to reflect, you know, the area I was from. I was representing the Midwest, gonna carry them on my back, so Midwest, and I was making them monsters, you know. So the crew that I'm with is called The Lounge, THA Lounge. And the way we came about, I'm gonna tell you, back in the day, we had a board called the MSN board. That's where all the bully people came together. We were consolidated in one area on the internet, MSN. And you had the Gray Line board, you had the Gaff board, the Edge had a board, you know, it was different boards. And so the Gray Line board and the Elite Edge board were the biggest boards. We would all go on here. You have people from all over the country, you know, from Cali to the East Coast to the Midwest, down south, you know, everybody was, you know, on one board. So started seeing this dog, you know, you're looking at all different dogs, trying to figure out how you want to mix your stuff up and come up with your perfect bully. And I saw this one dog, and his name was Corrupt. And I mean, the boy was wide, you know, extreme shoulders, chest, you know, head. He was still young. He was only about, you know, 3-4 months. I was watching him come up, and my dude named Lauren, West Coast Bullies, had produced him. He had him. So anyway, Bully, what was it? The Super Bowl. Super Bowl came up in Paloma, California, and Larry Duran from Blue Nation threw it. and that was really, you know, the first big bully show, you know, where it all came together. So I flew on out, got with my man Rodney, you know, from New Trojans and Mario, and we came onto the show. Rodney was actually the MC. He was the first MC for that first show, and we in the fairgrounds, you know, and I'm up in the treehouse. It was a treehouse with a big old what is that? Like an arena, you know, where they had all the animal stuff. So that's where they having the show at. We in the treehouse. He's MCing from up there, and we look down. I see a dog coming. It's a little crew coming, about 4 or 5 guys. And this little dog, you know, just rolling, you know, nice, like boom, you know. So I say, that's him, right? So I come down out the house. So I come up on them boys and I say, that's Corrupt. So, you know, I see them on the internet, so I knew who he was. So they looked, they smiled. So then I was like checking them out. So I said, I'm Big Kev. So they were like, Midwest Monstas. And I said, yeah, that's me. So anyway, we hooked up like that. We got cool. I talked to them for about 20 minutes. And maybe 2 weeks later, I got back, you know, back to the Midwest, and I got an email and it said, "Come on in here, come on, holler at us," right? So I go into the email and it's inside the MSN board. It's a private group, and it was called the Lockjaw Lounge, right? So I go in there and I'm like, "What is this?" I go on inside and they in there talking, you know, it's different little threads, and one of the threads say, "Hey, let's bring Big Kevin here. He cool, you know." So they all said, yeah. Boom, they brought me in. So it was a private board, and it was called the Lockjaw Lounge. Everything that's said in the lounge stays in the lounge. That was the motto. So it was just probably 8 guys in there. You had Lauren. You had Lauren is West Coast Bullies. He produced Corrupt. You got Noe, that's Sacktown Kennels. He produced whole lot of dogs. Sacktown was making some noise back in the day. Sacktown Kennels. He had some Daz and Jules blood, and he worked some gray line into it. Started making his own stuff. He was making some dogs. He was producing, and but anyway, he made a dog named King Saber, and King Saber he sold to Lauren, and then Lauren bought a dog also named what was that bitch name? Blue Sky, yeah, and Sky was off of Blue Time Sage. It was some of that Tilo Ruckus stuff. So, matter of fact, that was Remy's littermate sister. So anyway, he had that dog. He took it to that dog that Lauren made, and that's what made Corrupt, to that King Saber dog, and it made Corrupt. So it was actually an outcross, gray line, you know, with some edge, the best of both worlds, and boom. You know
How did people feel about Corrupt during that time?
Caught hell, yeah. He was overdone dog. He was extreme. His shoulders were blasted out, you know. He had a spread. He was just an overdone dog. He was more extreme than, you know, what was everybody was getting. And so yeah, at first he wasn't well liked, but then people started being, you know, he was a tool. He was a tool that could be used to make a bully or dog. He wasn't a complete product. He wasn't finished, but he was definitely a tool. So you know, that was what we worked off of. We worked straight off of that, and boom, that's it. People started seeing it because we was producing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, who would you like to work with?
Who would I like to work with?
Yeah, as far as creating bullies.
You talking about now or back then?
Back then.
Well, back then, you know, like I said, I got my start. I mentored up under Rodney from New Trojan, and so he was a gray line boy. He was gray line dogs. A lot off Tony Moore's yard. Tony and Gary Moore had that gray line stuff. So I came up under him. So I was partial to gray line, but my vision was always, you know, I want to do something different. I didn't want to just take a New Trojan dog to a New Trojan dog and make New Trojan dogs. You know what I mean? I could say, well, I produced it, but I've done no work. You know what I'm saying? That's already been made. All I did was, I've done nothing. So I want to take some edge stuff, bring it to that stuff, you know, the best of both worlds, do some outcrosses, come up with my own style, my own look. You know what I mean? And that's what we did as a crew. You know, everybody that was in the crew had the same vision, and we didn't try to come together as a crew. It just happened, and we formed. You know, and it became family. We became brotherhood, and we all had the same vision. So it just all worked out, and we started making some nice dogs.
How long was that process to really put that together? And the two-part to it is, what did you learn over the time as far as some of the successes that you saw in building what you have today, the lounge, and some of the downsides that you learned, like I wouldn't repeat the same thing over again.
That's a hard question to answer because, you know, I was talking to some of my people earlier, and like I was telling them, you know, when you dedicate your life to a certain, it doesn't come overnight. If you really about that life and you trying to make that for real, you got to be patient, and it's baby steps. You know what I'm saying? You slowly got to figure this thing out, put that together, and make it work, make it perfect. You know what I mean? And it's baby steps. It don't come overnight. So it took a long time, and I gave up a lot of my not only my life but my family's life to make this happen. You know, I was telling somebody earlier, my kids, I got 2 girls and a wife, right? I've been married 20 years. We've never been on a family vacation together. You know, we never got to go to anywhere together. If the wife went somewhere with the kids, I had to stay home with the dogs, vice versa. If I take the kids somewhere, or if me and the wife went, once they got older, then the kids would stay home and take care of the dogs. So you know, everybody that raised these dogs know it's a lifestyle. It becomes, you know, you give a lot to it. So
do you feel a lot of the breeders back then feel more of a sense of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I would say it was your life, because
a lifestyle. It was an everyday.
Because you just think of some people who actually lost their families behind the dogs.
Oh yeah.
Just thinking back on, did they ever get to a point with you that you felt like, well, I got to really choose between putting the allowance together compared to saving my family?
Yep. And you had to make certain moves. You had to do extra stuff to try to keep your family together, to keep that lifestyle going. You know. And a lot of times, you know, as a man, you making decisions. This is what I want to do, but do they want to do that? Because it's an conservative effort. Everybody in that household has to perform to keep those dogs, you know, in tip-top shape, to keep your house in tip-top shape. You know what I mean? You know, dogs make mess. You know what I mean? So if you going to be cleaning up after these dogs and hair your house like it's supposed to be to a certain level, you're going to be cleaning up all day, every day. You know, and it turns to years. Yep. So, yeah, this is choices that had to be made. You know.
Yeah, how important is it, you know, for people like you and I, because we both been married 20 years. How is it for you to let people know there might be newcomers getting into it, like you might want to think about this before you really get heavily involved in this? And do you ever get people to give advice about that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I don't think a lot of the newcomers know, when, like I said, when you actually take care of these dogs at the level that they're supposed to be taken care of, without neglecting them in any type of way, you got to give a lot. You know what I mean? And people don't understand the care and what comes with this. The monetary losses, the losses of time, you know, and what you have to do. They don't understand that. So they get these dogs, and either the dogs is neglected, you know, or, you know, these dogs are not supposed to be just in crates, you know, in crates sitting all day, or in kennels. These dogs are dogs. They need to interact with people, you know, and people don't understand that. That's what I don't like about it. A lot of guys get into it for the money. They see it flipping, and they think of it like anything else. I could flip that. If I get this, if I spend this, and I could flip that times 8, then times another 8, times this, times this. They thinking, you know, that's monetarily. No, these are dogs, and each one has a personality. You got to spend time with them dogs, man. You got to take care of them to a certain level.
Can you really see the difference of how it was then compared to now? Just seeing how the dog game is now?
As far as that, what I'm talking about the care and all that? Or as far as everything?
Everything.
Yeah. Like I said, this has become like a material thing, you know, like a lot of guys.
Would you say social media hurt?
Oh my God, that was it. That was the downfall. I was talking about that earlier. When that MySpace hit, and then this Facebook and all that. Now you got, you know, when it was on MSN, it was all corralled into one fish tank. So it was type of like a policing going on, because you couldn't go on here and act like you a real breeder, a producer, and you do this and do that, because everybody knows. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? And if you go in there, you're going to be challenged, and it would keep it, you know, it was a check and balance. Everybody was right there. Once they came up with the MySpace, now you gave people, you know, the means to change it. Now I'm a great breeder. I've been in the breed for 10 years. Man, I ain't never seen you around. You know what I'm saying? I've done this, I've done that. And then if somebody challenge that, they just block them. So now the real can't even come out. They become whoever they want to be. You know what I mean? And the hype, they just hype this up, and you know. And then you got all these new people that's interested now, so they coming in. They don't know no better. They see what they see. So they see all this, blah, 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 and they jump right into it. And now they got no guidance, no leadership, because, you know, they coming from nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing, you know what I'm saying? So it's a cycle now. So yeah, it's bad. And the dogs, the bullies, have become more accepted. You know, they're more of a household name now. It's years down the road. And so now I want a bully. You know, because it's a status thing. So this played out, you know, it's playing itself out like the Doberman did, you know, back in the day.
So how did you feel when you heard about the exotic come on the scene? When did you hear about that?
I don't even want to talk about that, bro. Not right now. I'm not gonna talk about that right now. Yeah, we probably get to it, but yeah, that's a sore spot there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because of them linked to the American Bully?
Yeah. 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 And it's you know, the exotic is just a name that was used.
Yeah. And
really all exotic is flawed dogs that's overly flawed, and they make it okay to produce these flaws, and sometimes even acceptable. It's not only okay, it's acceptable. I've seen guys with they got 3 or 4 dogs they showed, and none of them got a tail. What in the hell? We wouldn't show a dog with a kink. These dogs ain't even have a, you know what I mean? What kind of dog is this?
So I'll put it a comparison to what you see today will be like what you see with rap to what you see today with mumble rap.
You already know. It's the exact same. It's the exact same. Yeah. You went from some trill, you know what I mean, to whatever is acceptable. Now you could do just say anything, and it's cool. You say it, mumble to the beat, and it's good. You know what I mean?
And you can just make a dog today with flaws, and you good.
Mumble to the beat, and it's good. Make a dog with flaws. You know what I'm saying? How hard is it to make something that's fucked up? You know what I mean? You put it together. It don't matter how fucked up it is. Just breed them motherfuckers. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? See, you want strays. You want this. You want that. You know, you breed to get something, not just a color. You know that they made it simple to be a breeder now.
Oh, let me pick your head about that then, because just with you put in your process of creating that dog with a certain look, how many steps ahead do you think? Do you like, okay, I got this breeding to her that's gonna give me this, but then I see from something from that, we'll move on and pick someone who I can feel can help with this issue or that issue.
Man,
what's the process?
When I did all my breeds, even from day one, it was never just this dog to this dog will make this. It was this dog to this dog will make this, which can go to this, and I'm gonna take that back to this over here, or I'm gonna take this to that. It was always boom, boom. I'm 6, 7 steps down the line. I'm 3, 4 years down the line, you know, thinking what's gonna go to what. And then I might have 2 different things going on because that's coming back to that. You know what I mean? I want to make this to this, this to this. I'm going to fix this to this, and then I'm going to bring that together. And it's all related. That's going to lock that in.
Do you think that's lacking today? Whereas, like you said, with the social media phenomenon, if I breed to this stud because I know the market already don't win in on him, I can sell this puppy.
But now, I mean, you back
not thinking about their own vision of how they want
to. The vision is, I mean, there ain't no vision. It's the money now. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I go to this hot stud and make that color, and he offer that, and 12 times that, you know what I'm saying? It's just about the money. That's all they think for. The vision might be if I take that to that, then I'm going to have 12 X's instead of 13. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. They think about X's or something like that, but it's no real, I'm going to fix this and make that. You know what I mean? To make a better dog. They don't do that no more. I don't see it. It's some, you know what I'm saying? But the majority, and half of them, it's not even their fault. They weren't taught that. And the ones before that, they got into it, they weren't taught. So they don't even know. Half of them not even dog men. Half of them don't even like dogs. Shit.
Is that scary to know, like you said, with your issues with the whole designer exotic dog, that scares you that they're part of the gene pool, that it can float around, unless, I'm saying, if you go outside of your yard.
Yeah, well, I mean, what it is with a whole lot of bullshit that's coming in that's allowed, you know, it does fuck the gene pool up, because it tightens the gene pool up where it's less dogs that you can choose from. Especially if you're not, I'm not gonna fuck with this, this, and this, and this. Damn, what's left? I got a little bitty corner over here if I'm not gonna mess with all this, which has been accepted. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it limits you, you know, to what you can use to actually get to where you need to go. Mm-hmm.
Just thinking about the Midwest hosting nationals, how bittersweet is that for you?
I mean, it's a long time coming, you know, and they did a good job. You know, they grabbed it's gonna be a nice venue, real nice venue, Navy Pier, and you know, people should come on out, because there ain't gonna be no bullshit there. It's you know, I know Chicago gets a bad rep. You know, when they hear about Chicago across the nation, they like, oh shit, Chicago. No, Navy Pier's on lock. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of the upper venues. You know what I'm saying? So they did a real nice selection process of where it's gonna be at. And like I said, it's a lot of dogs in the Midwest now. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a good turnout. You know, it's gonna be a real nice turnout.
What can people expect from the lounge this year?
Well, we gonna come on out. Haven't been out in a long time, in a while, you know. And but like I said, I've been energized, and I'm back at it again. We gonna come on out, and it's in our backyard, so you know we gotta be there to represent. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of old friends that I ain't seen in a while. You know, I want to see them, kick it with them. You know, and you know, because in this game right here, you make family. You get with people and you make family. You might not have seen them for years, but they ain't doing nothing but the same thing they've been doing, same thing you doing, cleaning up dog shit, you know what I mean? So you come right back together, and yeah, I can't wait. We're going to have a great time. Yeah.
Let me ask you, Big Dog, man, what's one of the hardest things you had to deal with in putting the lounge together?
Well, like I said, we didn't actually put it together, it came together. Mm-hmm. But the whole concept of our crew was, we brothers, we family, and we stay out of drama. And because whatever you do, it's gonna represent me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever dog you make, it's gonna represent me. However you act towards your customers, your people, you know what I'm saying? However you're perceived out here, it's gonna represent me, because we all one. You know what I mean? If you do good stuff, then it's gonna reflect good stuff on me. If I do bad stuff, it's gonna reflect bad stuff on you. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the one. It could be the pros and the cons of having a group, because all of you all are one. You know what I mean?
So you would say that's the number one rule for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's why we keep our numbers so low. We don't have no big old, you know, spread out where we can't. I'm not gonna say police, where we can't keep up with everybody. We try to keep it one circle, one tight circle, so everybody can be on the same page as much as possible. Yeah.
Now, are members allowed to breed to the direction of a certain vision that they have, or is it a group effort as far as this is the vision for the lounge? Well,
I'm gonna tell you what we're doing right now. We've got foundation. We got foundation. It's a line. It's a built line. It's got a certain look. You know what I mean? It goes back generation after generation after generation. We go back all the way to 03. It's a line. It's not out. Everybody doesn't know about the line because I never put it out there where I want to commercialize it and just flip it out there like that. I kept it exclusive. It's a line now. So what we're gonna do now, I've got several different entities of the lounge, several different kennels. If you building a house, this is how you make a house. I'm gonna have this person right here work on the bathroom. He's gonna work that bathroom and complete that bathroom. Another one is over here working on the kitchen. You work that kitchen, make that a badass kitchen. I'm gonna take the living room, you take the basement. When we all finish, it's gonna be a complete house. It's gonna be a nice ass house, because everybody did what they were supposed to do on their certain project. We gonna have projects now. It's all gonna come back to the motherland, which is the lounge. You know what I'm saying? To that lounge blood. But we gonna go out certain ways to outcross it, and then we gonna bring it all back together at the end, and you gonna really see something. But yeah, we working.
Let me ask you, because right now, one of the things that you said you wanted to really do was get back out there and in the show ring, correct?
Yeah.
How far
we never really got out there into the show ring. When we first came, we had a lounge barbecue back in probably what 04, 05, and it would be out here in Cali in Sacramento, you know, out in the Bay, and it would be at Gibson Ranch, and we used to have one of the biggest barbecues we would throw, and I mean they would come from all over California, Arizona. They would come to that show, right, and we actually let you know, the ABKC came on in and sanctioned it and did their little show thing. So since it was our barbecue, we would have hosted the barbecue. I mean, the food, everything was free. You know, we would be the host of it, but you know, we was like, we can't show a dog because it's our show. You know, that's a conflict of interest. Why would we show a dog at our show? Because we win and we gonna win. Then it's you can't do that. You know what I mean? How you gonna throw the show and win the show? So anyway, we never got to showing dogs. We had to show the next year. Matter of fact, Remy became the not Remy, Marco's dog, Paco became the first ABKC champion male at our show. You know, he championed out right there and became the first champion male of the ABKC. But yeah, so that kind of stopped us from showing, and we never got into the showing. Later, we started showing dogs just to be doing something, and boom, 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 we winning. I want to get into it for real, where we actually try to clean up some dogs. I mean, make them show ready and get in there and just compete, you know, and do a few things.
Would you say the Midwest is like, as far as shows, like, okay, you know, East Coast, real heavy into show ring. Cali, you got the barbecues. Would you say the Midwest is like a mix between both?
No, the Midwest is more shows. I haven't seen a whole lot of barbecues. You know, we got that bipolar weather. It might be sunny today and raining tonight. You know what I mean? So we got that bipolar weather. It really ain't safe to throw a barbecue. So it's more like shows here.
More like okay. More the whole indoor thing. Okay.
Yeah. Because you taking a chance with that outdoor thing. Yeah. We used to have a Midwest barbecue over in Crown Point, but like I said, you taking a chance. Well, it's gonna be inclement weather, you know.
Just thinking back, man, what's the dog that really wowed you and like made you say this is something I'm striving towards? Have you ever seen that, or was you had a whole different vision of what a dog would be?
Like I said, Corrupt really caught my. Back then, it was a lot of dogs. It was a lot of quality dogs. It wasn't you know, like today. It's everybody basically doing the same thing. Everybody want this type of blood, or 80% of the people got this type of blood. It's you know, it's like everybody doing the same thing. Back then, it was wide open, so everybody was striving to create something different. You wanted, you know, to use something. I'm gonna use this and then use that on it, you know, and then create something different. So, you know, back then, like I said, Corrupt, that was like boom. I'm gonna take that. I had Pink Champel, which I got from Larry from Blue Nation. And she was a Monster G granddaughter. She was off of King Boom Boom, and she was that champagne color, you know, with the pink nose. That's why I named, you know, Pink Champel. And I want to take that, have that flashy stuff to something extreme, just bullier and just, you know, more, you know what I mean? And so that was my vision, and that's how I came up with my style of dog. I worked towards that vision. But yeah, Rodney had stuff, like I said, New Trojans, Rodney and Mario. They had Dillinger was real nice. That was a Gotti son. His son was Stripe. You had Stripe made Rolex. You know, they had New Trojan was putting out some dogs. Yeah, they was producing their ass off. They was having litter after litter after litter. You know how you see a dog like, that's a New Trojan dog. And 9 times out of 10, you can guess it correctly. You know what I mean? You can see that particular look in that dog and call it. Yeah.
In your opinion, is there anyone in the bully game that you can remember from the beginning, like a lot of people might have left out or didn't get the proper due as far as helping with the creation of American Bully?
Yeah, you got like we talked about earlier, Pratt. Yeah, Mr. Pratt did a whole lot for the breed, you know, and you know, he stayed mainly to himself. He didn't get all out there. Matter of fact, I can't remember if me and him ever had a conversation. I don't really know him like that, but I know exactly who he is. You know what I mean? and but he was he didn't like to mess with people, from from what I got. So he deserves a lot. I mean, he made some nice dogs. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell he put a lot of time into it. You can see the quality, of those dogs. Like I just said, Rodney and Mario, New Trojans, was doing their thing. A lot of people don't even know who that is. If they came within the past, 3, 4, 5 years, they wouldn't even. Some of them would not even be familiar with that. And without them, half of these dogs, they was behind the Rock and Ruby line. All that, and a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, a lot of these dogs.
Is that crazy to you though? That
Yeah.
like, damn, they don't really know.
They don't know, bro. They don't know. And this was like common knowledge to us. You know what I'm saying? But you can't even blame them because they don't know. They weren't there. You know what I'm saying? It's not talked about like it should be. But yeah. A lot of these guys.
Who you think's at fault for not spreading the history to the next group of people that's coming along with the American Bully?
Well, the OGs, yeah, they but you know what? It kind of got so out of control. You had so many people coming in, and the money started popping, and suppose you sell puppies to say 30 different people. If you really putting puppies out there and you selling it like that, you got 30 people that got puppies. It was cheaper back then, so many more people had access to it, and now they got it, and they trying to just flip their money. They didn't spend but $1,500 or $1,000 or whatever for the puppy, but now they want to make $1,000, 15, 12, 15. You know what I'm saying?
What's the first dog that you heard a crazy amount of money that made you say, "Damn, I can't believe I got this for American Bully"?
I don't even remember, man. I remember that white rhino back in the day.
Yeah.
Somebody gave a house for him, I think, and everybody was tripping on that. They traded a house. It was out somewhere where nobody wouldn't want it, what I heard, but it was still a house. It was a nice house for a dog. You know what I mean? I think he got a house and some money. I don't know. I don't remember, but it was like we were tripping over that. That was way back then. That was probably the first one. We like, God damn. Yeah.
That's crazy, though.
Yeah.
So man, I gotta ask, man. As far as what you see in the bully game today, is there any dog or any particular look that you would like to incorporate into the lounge blood, or?
Yeah.
Because also, two part of that, just thinking about it now, were a lot of dogs back then, in your opinion, did they have a lot of breathing issues like you see with a lot of bullies today?
Nah, they didn't. Nah. I don't. Like I said, we had our picnic in Cali, you know what I'm saying, every year. And it was, what month was it? I don't even remember what month it was, but it was not a cool month. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no 90 or 100, but it was still 80, 85, And we wasn't having no dogs fall out and die. You had a few dogs that would overheat just a little, but you ice them down and put some water on them, calm the dog down, get them in the shade. It was cool, And you maybe only had 2 or 3 of them for a whole picnic. And I'm talking about you probably got probably 500, 600 dogs there. It was big picnics, you know what I'm saying? It was huge picnics. And you don't see that, Nowadays, boom, dogs be dropping like this, from riding in the car, just overheating. Yeah. Yeah. So it's yeah. It's different. A lot different, yeah.
Get it, Pimp. Get it, boy. Get it, Pimp Juice. Get that ball, boy. Come on, Pimp. Work that ball, boy. Work that ball. Work it, Pimp. Work that ball.
Crunk Juice. Where he at, Crunk Juice? Good boy, Crunk Juice. Juice.
It ain't too many bully females that can do this shit right here. We getting ready for this show coming up in Wisconsin, June 2nd, June 1st. So that's a big porch, baby. Midwest Monstas porch, the lounge. Getting ready for this show, baby. And that's her pups. That's some of her pups, her 6-month-old pups. And they ready too. That's the Pink Nation. The Pink Nation will be unveiled. The new generation of the Pink Nation will be unveiled at the Wisconsin show on June 1st. Come check it out. Come on, boy. Work it, baby. We got driving our bullies, baby. We keep it crunking. Oh, yeah.